good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our latest episode of We Are Who We Serve Facebook Live series. My name is Leslie McCadden. I am an outreach coordinator for the Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic at VVSD for the clinic that will be opening soon in Los Angeles. And I help out in all of Southern California as well. I'm also the surviving spouse of Captain Michael McCadden, who served in the Army for nearly 20 years. I'd like to take a moment to let my co-hosts here introduce themselves. Why don't we start with you, Lindsay?
Thank you, Leslie. My name is Lindsay Livingston. I am an outreach coordinator with the Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic at VVSD and our soon-to-be opening location in Oceanside, California, hopefully early spring of next year. And I'm also a military spouse. My husband has been in for a little over 18 years, and we have been married for 12 of those years.
Ron?
Well, hello, Facebook. Good to see you again. My name is Ron Coleman. I am the outreach manager for the Stephen A. Cohen Military Family Clinic in Lakewood, Washington. I too am a Navy veteran of 20 years and absolutely love this work that we do. And we're here to give you some great information today, and hopefully you can join in and ask some pertinent questions along the way. So with that being said, it's all you, Leslie.
Thank you, Ron. Well, we're here to talk to you today about our personal experiences of receiving therapy for ourselves and our families. So I'd like to start by asking you both to share something that surprised you about therapy, some sort of unexpected benefit that you and or your family received. Ron, what surprised you most when you received therapy for your family?
I think just being able to open up and express each other's feelings and understanding that we do not all think the same, we don't all feel the same, and realizing that we come from different areas in our lives and trying to mesh it together and have somebody sit in and listen and guide us along the way to help us understand that there are alternative methods and easier ways to do things, and that you're not alone, that there's somebody out there that's willing to help you, and that you can basically lean on to in times of need or trouble, or you're confused or whatever. There's always somebody out there that's willing to help you, and you're never alone. And I think that's the greatest thing, is that just understanding that everybody has their own perspectives and their own feelings, and trying to mesh them all together, and realizing that it's not just my way, it's not just the other person's way. It's trying to mesh them all together and understanding that no person is the same, and everybody has the right to their own feelings, and understanding that they don't necessarily always have the answer on how to deal with those feelings, and it's helpful to have a third party to be able to help you with that. So that's my answer.
I love that. I love that idea of us not always knowing before somebody points out to us that we don't all see things the same way or have the same perspective. So that is definitely an amazing benefit. Lindsay, and I know you and I have talked about seeking therapy for our kids and for ourselves. Mm-hmm. What's something that surprised you about a benefit that you just didn't expect, but ended up being a part of your experience?
Right. That's such a great question. And I resonated with so much of what Ron just shared too. And I think for me as a parent, having that neutral third party that my kids and I could talk to, another authority figure that was outside our home and could give us kind of a bird's eye view of what was going on. And it was a trusted perspective as well. And I'll share a funny story about a couple sessions into starting counseling for our family. Before we started therapy, I had been working with my son on anger, controlling his anger in the home. And it was becoming a major issue and affecting our everyday lives. So I tried on my own to work with him and finally said, no, we need to call in somebody else to give us some tools, some new tools to work with. And a couple sessions in to receiving therapy, we were driving home one day and my son turned to me to say, Mom, did you know that when I get angry, my body feels really tense and my fists I clench my fists and my heart starts racing. And, he said, when that happens, I learned I can take deep breaths to control my anger. I can walk away. I can count to 10. Now, keep in mind, we're driving and he's sharing this. And I'm going, wow, those are all really great points. I am so glad, you learned that today. That will be interesting to see how that goes, this week. So I'm saying that to him. Inside my brain, I'm thinking, that's exactly what I've been saying for the past 6 months. But because
Yes.
it was coming from mom or a parent, right over his head. But when it came from somebody else who had built a relationship with us and wasn't, inside the home, it was somebody different, all of a sudden, he was receptive to what she had to share.
I
And
love
I
that.
just thought, wow, I should have called a lot earlier.
Right? I mean, that's kind of the amazing thing is learning that for me was seeing that it wasn't just going to talk about each of our feelings and
Mhm.
like I kind of thought maybe even with my kids, how is this going to help them when they were younger? And with us, there was a lot of therapy early on because my children were 10, 8, and 6 when their dad passed away. And so they were kind of going in and I thought, I don't know, is this going to be helpful? What surprised me is that it was a lot like school. They went and they came home with, like you're describing, skills. They came with this toolbox that I thought I was teaching to them, or I was probably saying all the time, but they just weren't hearing it. It's going right over their head. But now, seeing my kids 10 years later, they're 19, 17, and 15, and each of them have had a fair amount of therapy, either in family or on their own. They really have these skills and these tools to carry forward with them in all aspects of their lives, whether it's in school or in family or in relationships that they're beginning on their own. So I guess I thought it would just be like kind of solving feelings. And instead, it has become really a way of approaching the world for them and for our family. So that's kind of my surprise benefit was like, oh, we're learning so many valuable things that no one had taught us before, had given us a book on how to be good communicators or how to express your feelings or how to deal with a difficult emotion. So I love that. Another important topic, and I think we've all touched on this before, but it's that process of finding the right therapist for your family. And I would like to just kind of preface this by saying that I do have families say to me sometimes when I'm talking about our amazing clinics, they say, oh, I've tried that before. I've tried therapy and it was terrible. Therapy is not for me. And my kind of answer is always like, oh gosh, I hope you keep trying because it isn't always, it's like saying I went on a date once and relationships aren't for me, right? Like it's not going to work out. But I think it'd be important, it'd be great for each of us to share maybe some of the process we went through to find that right therapist for our family. So I don't know which one of you would like. I think Lindsay had a story about this. Didn't you want to share a little bit about this process for
Yes.
you and your family?
Yeah, and it is a process. It can take time to find the right fit for you and your family. I'll be honest, it took a couple tries for us to find the right therapist that understood what our family was going through, or that their methods kind of worked for my boys, or they understood. And it is an awkward conversation. There's no way to get around it. It is an awkward conversation that you do have to have with your therapist of, oh, I'm sorry, I don't think this is going to work for us right now. And, yeah, it made my palms sweat and it was a very awkward 5 minutes. But on the other side of that, I felt so much relief because I knew it wasn't the right fit for us. And that, there were, during our process of finding the right therapy for us, there were certain things that I was adamant on that I felt our family needed. One, because we are an active duty military family, I wanted somebody who understood military life and understood the ins and the outs and the ups and the downs. And I didn't feel like I had to spend 20 minutes explaining what we were going through, because of what was going on in our military life. And then also because it was therapy for my boys and my boys are younger, I wanted to make sure that the therapy space was fun and was inviting and that they would want to go. So I wanted to make sure I found a space that had child appropriate size chairs and tables and arts and crafts and games, and that it would be a fun space for them. And which, is so unique about our Cohen clinics, our network of clinics. All our clinics have designated family therapy rooms and child rooms that are designed for the whole family. So you may walk into a family therapy room and see smaller size chairs, for our little kids, but you will also see adult size chairs because it is not comfortable as an adult to sit in a child sized chair. So when you walk in, it immediately accommodates the entire family. And our clinicians are just fabulous at engaging our younger kids, to get them involved. And then also going back to the military component, we are who we serve. So our Cohen clinics, from our clinicians and our staff, they have a unique understanding of military life that's really important for our community.
I think that's a really key point, and is something that I wish we had things like the Cohen Clinic 20 years ago or 15 years ago when I was first seeking out therapy for my family, because it was sort of like, first of all, I was having to start over every time we move, right? And you're starting over with your story anyway. And if you're also trying to find a good fit, find a good environment, find somebody who understands the military, it could feel a little overwhelming. So I love with absolute sincerity that I would recommend them wholeheartedly to any military family for all the reasons you just said, because when you walk in, and they're the same across the country, and I love that too, wherever you walk in, there's a sense of keeping, of feeling a part of the Cohen Veteran Network family. Like, this is the military family. We are who we serve. Like you said, this is a place you're going to be welcome, understood, and fit right in, no matter where you are in your process of raising your family or taking care of yourself, either in active duty or beyond. How about you, Ron? Do you have any stories you like to share about the process of finding
stories,
a therapist?
there's so many stories. We could be here all day. Essentially, when you think of therapy and you think about trying to find a way to heal a situation or even have somebody to talk to, consider it that you are able to interview, like Lindsay was saying, you can interview prospective counselors and find out if they're a fit for you and for your situation. There's nothing binding you to any one person, place, or thing. It's up to you. Feel comfortable about where you're going to be and finding that person that you feel can listen and understand and help you through the processes that are going to improve your situation. And quite honestly, it's what we've all been talking about. And as far as Cohen clinics are concerned, we have people that have been there, done that, right? We have people that are affiliated with the military or have family members that have served in the military. We know that there's, what you're going through, we can relate to, because we've seen it, we've been there, we've done that, and we're not just going to leave you out to dry. We're going to try to help you out any way we can. And if we don't have the ability to help you, we'll be sure to point you in the right direction with our resources through our case management system that we have. Every clinic has a case manager within the clinic, so we can point you in the right direction to help get you the therapy that you need, you and your family. And regardless of your situation, at least sit down and understand that you can make that choice. You're not forced into anything. We're not going to force you into anything. We're going to encourage you to get yourself back to better and understand that we're here to help. And that's the bottom line.
I love that. And I absolutely agree. Did you sound like you wanted to add something there, Lindsay? Did you have something you want to say?
I was going to add something that also came to mind. As somebody who has struggled with anxiety and is a parent of a child who struggles with anxiety, one unique thing about our Cohen clinics are that a lot of our clinics across the US have pictures of the clinics or virtual tours like video walkthroughs and any kind of additional information that you can either look at for yourself or if you're seeking therapy for children, any kind of extra information to show them or give them helps tremendously before that first appointment, especially if I know for my children, if they can see a picture of where we're going, or even better, some of our clinics have videos, virtual tours. If they can watch something and visualize what this space looks like, then they get more excited. It doesn't feel as scary or intimidating that very first appointment.
I think that's such an excellent point. And I have children who are the same way. Really, you learn over time that more information is always better because they can prepare themselves for what's coming next, and they are able to kind of get an idea in their head. Sometimes it creates resistance, but usually it gives you an opportunity to find out what that resistance is and then answer those questions and concerns. I'd really like to ask you all before we wrap this up, what would you say to our families out there who really maybe think that it would be helpful to seek care, but they're hesitating for some reason or another? They're hesitating to seek help. What would you say to encourage them in reaching out?
I would tell them, don't hesitate. I mean, honestly, the longer you hesitate, the longer the situation lasts. I mean, putting a Band-Aid on it by just ignoring what's going on and not seeking assistance is probably the hardest thing to do. It's like, I feel like, honestly, we talk about our last Facebook Live, we talked about resources, community resources, and how to connect with them and all of those things. When it comes to therapy and getting your brain, your head, and your family correct and right in the right place, don't hesitate. We're here to help. We offer a service that is, it's just phenomenal. The people that we work with are so passionate, compassionate, and understand that there is a need and that we can help you. We can get you through whatever the situation is that you're going through, and understand that we are all here to help. Sometimes it is daunting. Sometimes it is intimidating. But I mean, for all that it's worth, the people that work within CVN, within Cohen Veterans Network, we are all aimed at the same target, and that is to get you guys back to better and understanding that your mental health is as important as anything else you go through physically or otherwise. And we want to make sure that you know that we are here, just a phone call away. The website, I'm pretty sure, has been posted in the chat during this conversation. So, if you want to find a clinic that's near you, and understand, we are loaded with clinics around the nation. We have 19 active clinics right now. And as Lindsay said, going to be 20 pretty soon. And we're going to be up to 25 before the end of, I think the end of next year, we should be up to 25. Wherever you are, we'll find a place to see you, and we want to help you. So please do not hesitate. Understand that we have been there too, and we know it's difficult, but make that phone call. It's just that simple. Or talk to somebody that can get you in to see us and get the help you need. We're here to help you, your family, anybody that helps you along the way. If you're a veteran, if you're an active duty member, give us a call. We can help you too as well. If you're a caregiver, same thing goes. So that's my input.
I think that's great. And like you've mentioned before, that it's like you wouldn't wait if you broke your arm. If you know there's a problem and the arm needs to be set, then you're just going to call out for the person who's best equipped to help you with that. Mm-hmm. And if the issue is communication or depression or anxiety or stress or reintegration or whatever it is that your family is dealing with, this is the physician, if you will, to call. So I also would just second everything that Ron is saying. Don't hesitate. Just give us a call and find out. Just talk to us. You don't have to commit to going. You can go one time. You can have the conversation on the phone and wait. But I think once you make that initial phone call, you're going to find that, like Ron said, everyone is just so helpful and really just there for you. And it's probably one of the easiest phone calls that you're ever going to make in the end, once you actually make it.
Yeah, and I think we all get the hesitation too, because I was hesitant to make the first call, and I'm a daughter of a therapist, and I was hesitant because it can feel intimidating and it can feel vulnerable. But it's so worth it to take that next right step. After, I know for our family, after our first couple sessions, I really driving home was teary and thought, why did I drag my feet? Like, why did I hesitate to make that phone call? Because it was so encouraging to me as a parent to have another trusted adult on our team, someone who wanted the best for my family and was equipped to help us too. And therapy gave us the tools that we needed to handle a variety of different situations in our home. And honestly, it gave my kids and I a much deeper connection with each other and better understanding too.
So the
And
overall,
yeah, I was
sorry.
gonna say, Leslie, I think I see a Facebook comment. Diane says,
Yes.
fabulous organization. Oh,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you. That's so
We
encouraging.
feel the same way. I can honestly speak for all of us. We love working for this organization. And like we all can have said, we would recommend it without hesitation to all of our military family and friends and veteran family and friends. I want to thank you all for taking the time out of your Tuesday to come and just hear what we have to say. We love to share about this clinic. It's our favorite thing to talk about. That's why it's our job to do outreach, because we all could talk about this all day long and don't tell our bosses. We'd probably do it even if they didn't pay us. So we love it that much. But do keep paying us. But I didn't mean to speak on behalf of them. Anyway, you don't have to pay me though. I just want to welcome you all to come back again on December 12th for our next discussion. It will be about holiday wellness. I actually don't have the names of the special outreach people who will be here, but I'll tell you that our entire team of outreach coordinators across the country are all super passionate about this. And I'm sure they will have amazing things to share with you about holiday wellness. So thank you so much. And we hope you'll give us a call and reach out anytime.
All right. Thank you.